What does it mean? Hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you boot up a game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 o'clock and call it a day. But you're actually taking time. Oh, wow. Christ. Pay attention. Well, they are correct. Better grow up and put my favorite time. Well, I'm not going to remember that and just put the right time. Yeah, time to go back in the game. Stanley Parable. Time for Groundhog Day yet again.
This is the story of a man named Stan.
Nope.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Check all the computers. I didn't check the computers. The new. Oh.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign.
Yeah,
yes,
I did.
I have something very exciting to show you.
Oh, something new to show me. Well, I hope it's a mountain of snacks. Because I'm hungry.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The
Yes, very
original
disappointing.
Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we
Really?
take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay, narrator. You're going a bit too far here.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the
Not
new
really,
territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions.
I
This
guess you're
is what
right.
fans have truly been asking for.
Yeah, I won't know that. I've only heard about this game like a few days ago. Taste the sequel. New and tasty. Wow.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the
It means you're
Stanley
adding
Parable
stuff to
2,
the original.
now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented.
good.
It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
If you haven't realized by now, your voice is a little annoying after a bit. What does it say? I can't read it. Can I crouch down? No, I can't. Oh, I can't crouch down. It's left trigger, of course it is. I can't see it anyway. Oh, there's different things. Thanks for attending my meeting. I like that one. That one looks good. But I guess this one works too. Circle. 2 plants, two brains. 2
Now, to be
Stanleys.
clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a
Really?
look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can
Meeting
loosely
plan.
organize a handful of interesting
Pitch design
concepts,
number 2,
that surely
chat.
the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything
not how-
scientific or logical, really.
That's not how game development works. 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, 2 arms, 2 legs. Who took my red marker? Me. Won the world. Sequels are good. Portal 2. I have not played that. Half-Life 2. I have not played that. Batman Arkham Asylum 2 City. I haven't played that either. I haven't played Divinity Original Sin 2. I haven't played any of these. I haven't even watched Aladdin 2. God, they're putting in references that I don't get. This sucks. This way to the show floor. New features. New content. God, my voice is so broken. Oh, wow.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new
no.
features.
No, no. Okay, fine. Bucket. Merch. This a real store? Is it a real store? I don't know. I'm gonna... Oh, let me hold on. Okay, let me go over here. Please no screenshots. Well, this might be a problem.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Neither. I think I'd go with blue.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
But it's white on a white office. That isn't gonna work well.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're
Trophy.
moving on.
I want trophy. Pull a lever, receive your new trophy. No more steps, it just works.
Now, here's something special.
trophy.
You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the trophy will be given to you. It's as simple as that.
Really?
Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Wow. What a ripoff. Oh well. Okay. Let's get out of there then.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
I guess this one?
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Oh, okay. Grab it. Oh, how do I... Oh. I thought I would just run into it like... Collect them all. The darkness.
God, it really is the worst when you
like
collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it.
Alright, what am I
Absolutely
Put
tragic.
jump circles here? Wait. Yay! Oh, wait.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
Yeah.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Well, what the hell? Why even bring it back? Give me more jumps. Okay, then, you jerk. Then what have I not seen? Jump circle, this map. Wow. A free trophy button that says the name of the player playing the game. Alright, where is that actually? I was about to just walk away like dumb. It's right around the corner. Should be right there. There it is. I could have gone right here in the first place.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course,
Yeah,
the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be
like
individually recognized and validated as people.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks... Sorry, I should have clarified.
Oh.
Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Yeah.
I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim.
Okay, I'm Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first. Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Imagine yourself driving to work as Jim, playing frisbee on the weekends as Jim, staying up all night for a popcorn and horror movie sleepover as Jim, developing a crippling substance addiction as Jim. All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Oh, I didn't mean to hurt you.
See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name, the button says. But no. Instead, I can't even think about it. I'm taking the Jim button away.
No! I like the button. No! Oh, man. I'm sorry, narrator. No, Lord, I was so mean.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here.
Oh, wow.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
Yeah. We'll figure it out later. Infinite hole, reassurance bucket, settings world championship. I want to know how to get in here. I want to know. I'm actually going to search it up. Okay. Let me search it up real quick. How to get in the... Nope. In the world champion... Oh no, settings world championship. World champion door. How do you get it? Every slider an option. Okay, so that's what I gotta do. Okay. I don't know if that necessarily works. Oh my god. This is such an annoying noise. No, I don't want the opacity right there. On. Oh, I can't switch that on or off. Turn it all the way up. Turn it all the way down. It's not invisible anymore. Turn it back to 100. Okay. I'm gonna do this real quick. Okay, I guess I can leave that off now. Lord. Hate this cough though. Sorry, narrator, just need to do this real quick.
Stanley.
What?
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
There you go, I guess. I didn't get it. Are you kidding me?
Ah, I can see you've gotten the Settings World Champion trophy. Well done.
You are
You've
the
experienced
champion
every
of
setting,
setting all the
traveled to
settings in
all
possible
corners of the settings menu. There's nothing you haven't seen. So just for you, in the Stanley Parable 2, I'm including an entirely new setting, something called bumpscosity. What exactly is bumpscosity? Well, I haven't quite figured that part out yet, but I know that you'll be able to adjust it on some sort of slider and that it'll be accessible from the settings menu. We'll sort out the rest of the details later. I hope you're looking forward to trying out every level of bumpscosity in the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, so I just get a whole new setting. Bumpscosity. Set it to 1,000. Probably nothing changed. To be fair. Okay, I'm gonna go to the hole. I like, it's infinite hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's
Yeah?
never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a
Shadow
hole
Stanley,
that you can
okay.
fall down forever. That's right.
Oh.
Infinite falling. You can fall until
falling.
the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Oh. Bye, world.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then,
Really?
since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Oh. Oh, well.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on
Why?
the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Is the hole not infinite? Hmm?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite
It's
nature
not
of the
infinite,
hole.
is it?
Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity.
Oh, am I
From
reaching
one
the bottom?
perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a...
Oh.
Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You
Meaning
found
it,
me out,
CPM,
Stanley.
sincerely
I'm a
management.
liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue
New
here
ones.
is just that
Alright,
you're
well,
unusually fascinated by
The
falling.
pause button
What
is the Roman
normal
numeral
person
2.
actually wants to fall
Just the two
infinitely?
of us.
I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
What? Hey!
Look, the things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
Well, now you can't say anything. How about that? I need to turn off simplify.
Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the whole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now,
Alright.
I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Can I just travel back in?
Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much.
Yeah, I love
Normal.
them. They're
A
cool.
normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh,
That was shorter.
did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't
Yeah.
help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean,
Just the
admittedly,
two of us.
I didn't make an infinite
can
hole.
make
I
it
didn't think it was that
right,
not
just the
infinite.
two of
Well, I
us.
suppose once again there's
Just
nothing to
the
do
two
here.
of
If you
us.
decide you've had
My
enough of
voice
the
is
hole,
so
you can hit
fucked
the
up.
teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled.
No, I'm not.
I really, gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where...
Oh.
Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to
Let's
become
look at
extremely
it.
certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I
So
suspect
the-
that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by
Yeah,
the
it's
lax overall standards for
infinitely
accountability and marketing. What's
That's
going
right.
on here? Stanley,
know.
I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Okay.
Oh, there it is. The shame
Oh.
of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot.
Oh.
How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here
The
to
mac
do
and
and hit the
cheese.
teleport button when you're ready to move on.
It's not working.
The, teleport button not working?
Guys, it's not working.
You sure? Well, I mean,
It's not working.
I really
no.
don't have an explanation. Still nothing? Well, I suppose
Nothing.
I suppose
No.
there is one thing I can do to fix this.
Yeah.
I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and
The
now you'll
narrator.
get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for
The narrator.
everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else.
What?
Take care, Stanley. I hope
I
you
need
and
my
the
water.
hole have a wonderful rest of it.
Oh, where are you going? Oh my god. Why? What in the world? I was taking a drink of my water. What's happening? What's going on? Oh. Oh. god. What is going on? I just am just mess with the narrator. I don't do all this. Oh my god. Bye, cruel world. I will never miss you. She's been oh. I want to be like this. No, I kind of like this. This is okay. It's too much gas for my food. No.
My head's stronger. You're no longer. You.
What? Oh. Oh my god. Dinosaur bird. Oh! That was the best one. Ooh. I like that one. Cartoon. Oh my god. Oh wow, it's the best one. Let's go. Oh no, I touched myself. No. Oh, the best one was the one cartoonish one.
Stanley? Stanley?
What?
Stanley!
What?
Oh, good, you're
What?
awake. It seems you
hi.
had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we
Oh,
can't have
really?
that, Stanley.
Oh.
Because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole?
Okay.
From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
What? Am I gonna go down again? Please. No! Oh man. Oh, I like the hole. It's cool. Oh.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Yeah, I made fun of you for that feature completely. It's worth it.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to
Give
be
me the
honest,
bucket.
it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes,
Fair enough, fair enough,
the
fair enough.
bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Why'd you laugh like that?
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be spreading through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Well,
I
no
think
way.
that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Oh, nice.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they?
Yeah.
All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh. And get in a blanket. Get in a blanket with Mom.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game?
I don't
That
think so,
really
no.
should be an award if it isn't already.
Christ. Pretty sure I've seen everything.
All right, have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Yeah, I'm kind of done. Lord.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
I like
yes, I
some
know
of
it's
them.
not
I
exactly
like the
clear
whole.
yet how exactly these features will come
But I'm
together
annoyed
as one
that you didn't
single
use my
coherent
balloons.
video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind.
You should have
Hold
made
on.
the balloons
Let me
red.
do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Oh, no, it's worse.
Who am I kidding,
It's
Stanley?
worse.
This
It's
isn't
worse.
a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I
Yeah,
do
it
very
is.
much enjoy creating
Jump
gags, but they
circle.
don't add up to anything.
Jump circle with the whole
I
inside
wanted
the
more
jump
than
circle.
anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the
Yeah.
original. Wait,
Yeah.
maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully,
Yeah.
of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would
Okay.
it possibly work?
Could.
I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen.
Yeah.
A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That doesn't look bad, I will admit. Okay. Well, this looks cool.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Yeah.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 4...
The balloons, they're here. Even though they're not the ones I wanted.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Check
Stanley
that
decided to go
input
to the meeting
for
room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
all
memo.
these.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Yeah. The bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Oh, wow. Oh, why is this here? It's blocking nothing. Sorry for my coughing, by the way. I'm not feeling too great. I'm hoping to get better soon.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest
These balloons
and
actually
entered
work
the
well
door on
then.
his left.
These balloons actually work well. I wanted the blue ones, but I guess these ones work well too. They say get well someday. I want to go to the right.
This was not the correct way to the
I
meeting
know.
room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Yeah, the employee
And here it
lounge.
was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Yeah, we're just gonna stick in here now. Why not? Narrator, we're gonna chill in here now.
Truly, being here with the bucket was a grand adventure.
Yeah.
Stanley reflected on all they'd been through together. First, walking through the door on the right. Then walking to the lounge. Then arriving at the lounge. What a thrilling journey the bucket had inspired.
Yeah, I guess. More dialogue?
Perhaps this was where the bucket felt most truly at home. Here in the employee lounge. Perhaps it's the only place a bucket can even feel at home.
Other than a broom closet.
Stanley decided to just give the bucket absolutely as much time as it needed to be in the lounge.
Yeah.
Clearly, the bucket and the employee lounge shared a special connection.
Okay, we're all done in here.
But finally, the bucket was done being in the lounge, and they took the first open door on their left to get back to business.
No.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
What's this?
You found one of them. One of the miniature
Stanley
Stanley
figures.
figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Okay. How do I get back now? Well, there's a vent there. I never noticed that. Let me go through the vent. What? I thought I went through a vent. Oh. Okay. What is this?
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape
They're
number...
girls?
I don't even know. I lost track. Nothing feels real anymore.
Oh.
The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes.
Oh my god.
Sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling.
Oh, you're creeping me out, dude.
And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down.
Oh, jeez.
It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so...
You good,
What
dude?
do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it.
What?
Yes.
Oh my
It's
god.
unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an
Oh my
hour
God.
with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going
Oh
to
my
be a
God.
target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get me. What's that? Who's there?
Oh my God. Lore? Well, that got interesting real quick. What? That was it? What?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the
What was
meeting room.
that?
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his
Alright.
chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting
I
room.
know.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Okay.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to
No.
go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
I don't
Stanley
like
did
this.
not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley
I don't
chose
wanna-
not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
No, I didn't. I ran down here.
No, stop. Look there
What?
on the wall. You see, there's a sign
Oh.
right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how
Oh.
could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest
Oh,
of the
really?
game if not
Oh.
addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket.
Well, okay.
Please,
Okay.
step in here for a
Oh.
moment.
What are we gonna do? Okay.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test
This is a
scenarios,
bucket.
and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
Cute.
Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket.
Okay.
Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
I think it is a bucket.
Incorrect. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
But that means it's still a bucket.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Okay, what if I say no?
Correct.
What?
It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Are you kidding me? Still a bucket.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
How about no? It's not.
Incorrect.
Are you kidding me?
This is a bucket.
It's a bucket. It's a bucket. Are you kidding me right now? That is
Item
not a
4.
bucket.
Is this a bucket?
It's not a bucket.
Correct. This
Yay,
is a tractor
it's a
and not a
tractor.
bucket. To be honest, I just sort of put this one in here as a gimme, but I was starting to get concerned that even this might be too much for you. Thank you for not making me look like an idiot. Okay, next one.
Yeah. You got this.
Is this a bucket?
What if I put yes? Okay.
Correct.
What?
This is a bucket.
How is that a bucket? What?
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Yes.
Trick question.
What?
Both. Gotcha.
How's both? Are you kidding me?
Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see.
Really?
Should be around here somewhere.
Really? Oh. Nothing?
Yes. Thank you. There's nothing here.
Yeah, there's
of course
nothing
it isn't a
there.
bucket. We both know full well that nothing isn't a bucket. Wait, when I say nothing isn't a bucket, that makes it sound like I'm saying everything is a bucket, which of course is not true.
Wait,
Unless...
wait.
Is that what you think?
What?
Answer me straight, Stanley. Are you trying to tell me that you believe everything is a bucket?
No?
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective.
Oh my
What
God.
is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
You're not Bucket, you're a narrator.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with.
Oh.
I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to
gotta have
erase
the-
all buckets from the game
No.
entirely. Okay,
My
here we go.
bucket. Don't do it. What?
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every
Everything
single
was
thing
a
in the
bucket.
game was a bucket. Oh my God,
Are you
I had no
kidding
idea.
me?
How could... Except me.
Yeah, you're
I
not
am not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're
Yeah,
still
I'm
here.
not-
You're
I'm
not
not
a
a
bucket
bucket.
either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets.
Yeah.
Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to
Shadow,
get some
hi.
clarity on that issue, but it doesn't
My
change the
voice is
fact
all
that
weird.
we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay?
Okay.
And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that.
Yeah, we
Who
don't want
knows
to tell
what that
anyone.
information might do to a person? All right,
Yeah.
here we go.
Yeah, I am. I sound really funny though, so it kind of works out.
All of
in
his
this
co-workers were
situation.
gone. What could
Yeah,
it
I
mean?
know all my workers are
Stanley
gone.
decided to go to the meeting. The
me
confusion
bucket.
and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Yeah. Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
To the right.
This was
I
not
guess.
the correct way to the meeting room.
Even
But
though I went
Stanley
to the
had
right
felt the
like 2
bucket
times
calling
now.
to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was.
employee
Had the
lounge.
bucket turned out to be correct?
Drinks.
Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps. No, never mind.
Bucket
the
was
bucket
wrong.
was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No, fine. I
No,
know.
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go
love
somewhere
the voice he
else.
does.
The
It's
cargo
fine.
lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley
no?
did not question why, but Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Yeah, deeply touching. What is the point of this? It's basically like Groundhog Day.
All of his co-workers were
But-
gone. What could it mean? Stanley
different
decided to go to
endings
the
and
meeting.
things.
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
I love the
Stanley
bucket
clutched the bucket
voice
tightly to
when
his
the
chest
narrator does
and
it.
entered the door on his left.
Fine, I'll go through the left. Jeez, I don't like listening. Oh, that's new. Wait, this wasn't here before. Looks like 427. That's me, 427. Gotta collect now. Oh, stairs, something to do with stairs. Somewhere, both red and blue. Nearby a fireplace. Private, but smelly place for an important person. Is this some kind of game? There must be a point to this. Oh, they're even on the projectors. Follow the clues provided by employee 416. Okay. Room closet. Oh, oops.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it?
Why?
The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can
No.
feel that, can't you? The aura of
No.
jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
No, it's my
I can
bucket.
really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is
Yeah.
trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies.
No, screw
Good for
you,
you,
broom
Stanley.
closet.
Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know
won't.
how hard it must be, given the pressure
It
that the
isn't.
broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend.
Yeah.
You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this
Oh
is
my
worse than
goodness.
I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your
How dare
relationship
you.
is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards
What?
any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I've never.
How
Go on,
dare you,
Stanley.
broom closet?
Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of
Okay,
experiences
let me
you
talk,
and the
David.
bucket have shared together. Go through each of them
Okay, let me
point
talk.
by point.
Are you-
Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have
Yay.
changed and evolved
The
over the
broom
years.
closet's trying to
Let him
take
have
my
it.
bucket. Apparently. I don't know why. I'm still in
Okay,
here.
I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and
I
for
know.
all. Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike, broom closet, with all your meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural order of things.
Property of Stanley. Perfect. My laugh is so squeaky and I love it. I
All
hate
right,
it, but
I've got
I
a
love
second
it.
sticker back here, and I'm going to slap it on
yay.
as well because I
want more
think it's
stickers.
appropriate. You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket. That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not,
It
you can
is a
look down at
bucket.
this
I
sticker and
can
say to
tell.
yourself, ah, it's a bucket.
Yeah.
There really is a wide variety of applications for this sticker.
Yeah. Okay. Bye, broom closet. Oh wait, that's not meant to do with open doors anymore.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the
Yeah, I'm
bucket
going
walked
down.
upstairs to the boss's office.
I want to go down. I found
Another
one.
miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about
Yeah.
mini stands?
Mini stand.
Stanley
I don't
things.
like that.
What about Stanlerines? Yes.
Perfect.
I think I like that.
Stanlerines.
Another
Perfect.
Stanlerine under your belt.
Stanley. I like Stanley.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He
Why does it
considered the
look like
possibility
me?
of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he
Wait,
taken that
I was just
risk?
here.
All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Yeah,
He looked
maybe
down
I
at the
am
bucket in his
crazy.
arms. Am I
Bucket.
crazy? He asked the bucket.
Oh my God.
The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He
Yeah.
held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort.
I am
And that's when
crazy.
Stanley
I'm talking to a
realized,
bucket.
this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal,
What?
everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did
Oh my
I end up
God.
with someone else's bucket? This is
But
all
that's my
terribly
bucket. It says
wrong.
property
Surely
of
no
Stanley.
good would come
What?
from this.
No,
Who knows
my
what sorts
bucket.
of bizarre hallucinations Stanley
No.
might experience without the psychologically grounding presence
Where's
of
my
his
bucket?
bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course,
Yeah,
very
they were
normal.
repeating.
And now he felt himself floating off the ground.
Oh my God.
Gracious, he exclaimed.
I'm floating
Without my
off the
bucket,
ground.
I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me! The bucket!
Could it truly be?
Oh
He
my
rushed
God.
forward from room to room, passing by one
Buckets.
bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his
These are
special
my
bucket.
bucket.
Come
Give
to
a
me,
5-star
Stanley.
bucket.
Find me.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to
my
truly
God.
restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks.
What?
He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from.
What?
The real bucket was inside of him all along.
What?
It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony
Oh my...
and blacked
Whoa.
out.
That was deep. What? I blacked out.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Again.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket.
Oh my
Of
God.
course, he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion
Oh
and
my
it's all just a
God.
video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place.
Oh my
How
God.
cruel the world can be, Mariella thought.
Wait, did you
And she
get your
hugged her
bucket?
own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing
No.
problems she would soon have to confront at
It just
work.
disappeared.
For which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself. My life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
Okay, that was funny. That was so funny. Oh, what the?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
What?
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Whiteboard ending dog mode. I love it. I love it. Oh my God. The other door's open.
Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly
I'm
to
gonna
his
go
chest
left
and
again.
entered the door on his left.
Bucket, you are my friend now. Okay, so I did the stairs one. Somewhere both red and blue nearby a fireplace. Okay. Okay. Oh, my hand. Wait, can I get more stickers?
Stanley, we must move on from this broom closet, simply because I have no remaining stickers. If I did, you can guarantee we'd be in here for hours. But alas, no
I want
stickers.
stickers. Oh, okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket
Pull up.
walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay, I'm up here now. Oh,
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies.
I
What do you
like
think, Stanley?
Stanlerines.
What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness
want
that you
stickers.
get from seeing a small number in the
I
corner
want
of your
more.
screen go up by one? Let me
I
sit
like
on it.
Stanlerines.
I'm sure it will come to
I
me.
need stickers. Yeah, I have stickers on my bucket. Because the boss knows that's what the boss says goes. If the bosses suffer losses, then that's what the boss chose. I don't know what that means. Okay. Oh, the poor panda. I feel bad. Oh wait, I remember this. The elevator. Let me in. I love the elevator. I can't narrate it. Right. What? Yeah. Okay, I'm going back. Okay. What do I do now?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Yeah, I don't see
Crushed
anyone.
by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have
play the
broken
piano?
down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket.
Wow.
Even now,
A
in his
chord.
darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would. And he knew it. The two of them were inseparable.
Yeah.
At this point, Stanley was so
Fireplace.
absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's
I
desk.
did notice it.
Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
2845. What if I don't put that in? What if I just sit here? What if I don't want to do it? What if I don't want to do it?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
I don't want to put it in. I have no idea what it is. I don't know what the passcode is.
2845.
He's getting annoyed at me. I love it. I don't want to put it in. I don't want to. Put the wrong one in. I already did that. I just put a bunch of
But it
zeros.
turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
I annoyed him. You see, it just does nothing. Okay, I guess we're here now. What?
You're
Yay!
getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to
What?
have none of them. And now we have them all.
No, not the basket.
You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines.
Oh my
None of
god,
us
that
can.
is such a ridiculous name. So I like Stan Marines more. Time to go down. Let's go. Fuck.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown
Sorry.
fate. It would be
Keep my
all
coughing,
Stanley could do
sucks.
to keep himself together, if
Ooh,
not for the
spooky.
bucket.
That's so spooky.
Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Everything will be fine, huh? What if I go back up? What if I go back up? Why not? Why not? Why not? Well, fine. I won't go back up. Oh. I want to go back up because you're able to.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Should I go through escape or there? Escape? That way? Escape? Want me to go that way? No, which way you want me to go? That way? Listen, Princey, you're not helping me. Yes? Okay, we'll go back up the elevator. Yeah. Go back up the elevator.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again.
Okay.
The bucket said nothing.
Oh, weird. Normally the bucket always says something back to me. This is so weird. Go back over here. Where is
Here we are,
the
said
number?
Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the... Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life. Stanley looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This
I'm
was
not
a
talking
shock
to
to
British.
Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him?
I'm
Once Stanley
streaming.
had enough of the number 3, he got back in the
Yeah,
elevator.
it's like videos, but it's in real time. Is 2845. There's no point of me doing it. It didn't work. Okay. 845, but it has 4 letters and 4 numbers. Okay, guess we gotta go back down, bucket.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Oh my goodness. What if I go back up? I'm too far into this now.
No, said Stanley to the bucket. You can't go on yet. Not till you understand how much the number 3 means to me. You and I have been through so much together, and I just want you to see what I see. Feel the happiness I feel. He smiled at the bucket, and the bucket said nothing.
Oh my goodness. You're just gonna keep pressing the number 3.
Here we go, said Stanley. This time I'll really show you. He ran to the number 3 and began to wail on it like a musician on a beloved instrument, weaving a concerto of truth and passion. He wielded the number 3 like a fine artist would wield a paintbrush. He told stories through the number 3, stories of his dreams and hopes and fears. And the whole time, he looked to his bucket for a reaction of some kind. Anything to let him know that the bucket appreciated what he was doing. The bucket conveyed absolutely nothing at all.
Aww.
Only silence. Crushed by a wave of dejection, Stanley returned to the elevator.
Oh, okay, we'll go back to the elevator again.
Stanley and the bucket were so close.
No.
They'd always been there for one another. Why
Yeah,
suddenly could the
right.
bucket not connect with this passion of
Oh,
Stanley's?
that's sad.
The question
Yeah.
caused Stanley to ruminate the whole way down the elevator. He knew that there must be a way to get through to the bucket, to communicate fully with his dear friend.
Yeah,
Surely there
this
was a
is my best
solution,
friend,
mustn't there
a
be?
bucket. This is my best friend, a bucket, who's not understanding the number 3. I can go back up.
Ah, said Stanley. I know what to
Oh,
do. I know how
what
to
am I gonna
fully
do?
express this feeling in my heart. He decided right then and there that he would hold a press conference
Oh.
where he would speak to the public on all matters relating to pressing the number 3
these are new.
over and
Wait.
over. He would elaborate fully on what the number 3 meant to him and why he felt so alive when pressing it. Then the bucket would be able to see his joy through the eyes of others. It would get to see the world react to this discovery of Stanley's.
Guys,
And it would be
You stop
through the
coughing.
public eye that the bucket would finally understand Stanley's
Oh.
work.
the red carpet.
For months, he advertised and marketed his press conference, building excitement around it, developing and rehearsing it, until it couldn't be refined a single measure further. When the big day
I guess
arrived,
I did.
Stanley was
The world's
as
healthiest
prepared
human
as
being.
he'd
All
ever
tricks
been
revealed.
for anything
How
in
we
his
did
life.
it. The pyramids. The guy who went to Mars. I can't. I'm gonna go live on stage. An evening with world peace, baby. No, I would be okay with that. Why'd that sound like a Minecraft door sound? Stanley Parable, Stanley, tonight, live on stage. That one over there looks cool. There's like a little crystal ball thing there. The world's first sentient machine. Oh my god, my throat. Doing great. To stage 3333333. 427.
This was it. One last chance to win the bucket over. One opportunity to share a true connection with a loved one.
Yeah, that's my number. 427. Yeah, a bunch of threes. What does it say? Congratulations, Stanley. Remember where you came from. Your co-workers. Wait, I thought my co-workers were missing. Okay.
There was no one here.
Oh.
Nobody
no.
had come to the press conference to hear Stanley speak,
Oh, no.
to listen to him talk about what it really means to press the number 3 on a keypad over and over. He was unloved, uninteresting, he was a failure, and in that moment Stanley knew that the bucket would never again take him seriously. There would be no connection, no deeper understanding.
Oh, no.
The bucket merely sat there in his arms, indifferent.
No.
And so it began that slowly, over many years, the two of them grew more and more distant. They spoke less and less, neither wishing to state the obvious, that any sense of real respect between them had eroded since that day at the press conference. There would be no more games, no more long conversations about passion and pursuit, only a silence that consumed the space between friends.
This is depressing.
Stanley, having for once in his life discovered the warmth and comfort of true
I
companionship,
didn't say it's cat.
was cast back into the unremarkable normalcy of loneliness.
Jeez. This is a depressing end. Lord, that was depressing. That sucked. What? What? What was at the bottom there? Wait, hold on. Let me go back. Hold on. Let me go back. Hold on. What was that? Hold on a minute. Let me go back. Go to my live. Backwards. Okay, there it is. Oh my god. It bugged and put up something that was already there before.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. The good old bucket. Just
Actually,
Stanley
wait, no,
and
I don't want the bucket. Wait,
Off
I don't want
on another thrilling adventure
Actually, no, I do
together.
want the bucket. I want the bucket.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay. What would the last one be? Both red and blue. The red and blue door, but I would have to get rid of bucket to do that. So we're gonna do the end real
Coming
quick
to a
up here.
staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Boss's office. Hi.
Stepping into his manager's office,
Nothing too
Stanley was
fun.
once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing
Oh my
presence
goodness.
of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Christ, this cough sucks.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the
Okay, we'll
large
go.
door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Okay, sure, we'll go this way.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
What would it be?
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
No way. Okay.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Yeah, trust no one except for the bucket. Definitely. This is the only time I'm going to talk about buckets so much.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of this past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
I will. I'm gonna turn it on.
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped
bucket.
in
It
horror.
definitely
Had
did
this
it.
been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself? How could
Oh
the bucket
God.
have betrayed him like this?
How dare you,
Stanley
bucket?
was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
What?
Birds. Silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
It's birds. It's birds.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world.
It's penguins.
The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best.
Yes.
And Stanley
Absolutely.
was happy.
Yes, I am. But my name's not Stanley, it's Shadow. Oh, that was the best one for the last one. That's so cute. I know.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
We're gonna go through the exit door. Or the escape door. Oh wait, I need to get the thing. Oh man, I forgot. There'll be a reward for finding them all. Lives. Who are you? Bibilo. I want them so much. I want to go home. There will be cleaning of this wall required. Stop kidding yourselves. Anything else? Five February, just take it from me. Gotta collect them all. It's a reference to Pokemon. You gotta catch them all. Need more planks for fixing stuff. Thank you. Good luck. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Yeah. Let's go up here to the boss's office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Do that. Now we need to go through escape. We need to find that last Dan Loreen thingy. Lord, my throat's killing me. Okay. And then I need to grab my computer and do some stuff. Alright.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Oh. Well, that's fine with me.
The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
No.
At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Bucket. Oh.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. What use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell. Oh.
Farewell, Stanley,
What?
cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
What?
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket.
Wow.
It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
The bucket. Welcome to the grand exhibit. Oh God, I'm not reading all that. I'm not reading all that.
Can you see how arrogant it
Oh
was
my
for
God.
Stanley to take a bucket
25
like this
buckets.
and to
I'm
claim
pretty
it
sure
for his
that's more
own?
than
Can you
25.
see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Bucket with 2 handles. Deemed too dangerous. Every year dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Oh my God. This is so dumb. Inferno bucket. It's a replica. Oh. Okay. Oh wow. No one can control a bucket. Fair enough. Oh. Cave drawing. Oh my God.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
Wow. The sound. I didn't look at here. It's just an analogy for the stress bucket, an analogy for being negative forecasting, negative thinking, lack of reassurance, vulnerability, size, strength of the bucket, coping strategies equals holes. Rest, relaxation, doing something you enjoy, rest and relaxation. Stress, the level of water in a bucket, the stress bucket presented without commentary. Okay. Is there someone here? No. The hanging bucket. Oh. I grabbed the bucket.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that
Yes?
will right this terrible wrong.
Oh, Lord.
Let Stanley die.
Oh,
Let him
what?
be crushed by the machine. Don't
Put him in the
reset the
bucket.
game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together.
Oh my
The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Okay, well, my character's dead again. Well,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket,
yeah.
a committed bucket, a bucket of cult. Stanley clung the bucket to his cheek. Could his co-workers really all be gone?
yeah, could they be all gone? End is never the end. Dead again. It's funny streaming my voice like this. Say a bunch of stuff. Weird. Oh, I can't get the one end where you go through the window. That sucks. Oh well. Today is Thursday.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Okay, I did all this stuff on the left, I think. Oh wait, no, I didn't turn off the machine. I need to do that real quick. Go, go, go. And I need to get the red and blue thing. Okay, I get the point. Mysterious. Ooh, spooky.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
This way. This way.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Let's go down the elevator. Yay! Everything about my voice is so broken right now.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Mind control facility.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
Wait.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Wait. 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 Oh.
But just as Stanley was about to proceed further into the mind control facility, he tripped and fell over the railing and into the dark void below. Thankfully, he fell directly onto the bucket, which safely cushioned his fall. Now, what to do next, Stanley wondered. Stanley and the bucket could find no way out of this enormous pit, and so eventually they decided that the best thing to do would be to simply get comfortable down here. So they set up a little couch and relaxed. It really wasn't so bad down here, a bit cold perhaps. After some time had gone by, they installed a few shelves as well, and a sort of kitchenette that was useful for when the bucket was craving paninis.
What?
But it wasn't until the rugs and the standing lamps came in that it really started to feel like a home. In fact, after some time, Stanley realized that it had been ages since he had even thought of the mind control facility at all. He'd never gotten to fully explore what was up there, never been able to unearth the many mysteries of the mind control facility. This lack of closure began to eat at him. Soon he was dwelling on his regrets, and the state of their home slowly decayed as Stanley became withdrawn and neglected the cleaning.
Oh, no.
It unsettled the bucket deeply. Stanley wasn't usually like this. The bucket tried to reach out to him again and again, but to no avail. All Stanley could think about, all he could talk about, was going back, doing it over again, staying on the path. It was a mistake to leave the path. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. I need to do what the narrator says. I need to see the true ending. This made no sense at all to the bucket, which was simply trying to live its life down here as comfortably as possible. Yet Stanley was inconsolable. This isn't an ending. This is just a hole in the ground. The bucket sighed. True, it wasn't an ending. But it's where we happen to be. And maybe, possibly, if we accept the reality of things, maybe this will become an ending eventually.
Oh my god.
It's what the bucket was counting on. The two of them waited for a very long time.
What?
of his co-workers were gone. What could it
Why are
mean?
these all on the
Stanley
ground?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Why are they on the ground? You're looking at food videos. Okay. Figurine Finders Committee meeting today in the meeting room. Okay, we're gonna leave that alone. All the papers.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting
I
room,
know.
and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Go,
Perhaps
go,
he wanted
go.
to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Go.
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley
get
for the
out.
first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not trying to you, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why?
Yes.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on.
And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Well, screw you then. Okay. I'm gonna get in the game again. 'Cause that's all I wanted to do. Oh, what the?
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's just... it's those figurines. Those figures.
Figurines?
I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one.
Yeah,
Wasn't it
so-
just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill
really.
you to the brim with inner richness?
No.
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Okay, fine. I'll go back to the memory zone. God, love that. Love that instrument. And now remembering when Stanley found the collectibles. Cute. I like that. The memory zone. Oh, new area. We were up there before.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
Yeah. Alright, fine. I'll go into the void of darkness. It's me tapping on the keyboard. What the? Weird.
And here was a second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the warehouse. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
I think it was under the stairs.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, under the stairs. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Wow.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
It wasn't a pink room.
This was the 5th mini-Stan, and this one was really something special. It was behind the boss's office. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion.
Oh my God.
Enjoy.
By the narrator. Oh my God. I need some popcorn. Mini-Stan number 5. You found it behind the box's office. Thanks for watching. Credits, oh my God. Nice boy, Derek. Thanks, Stanley.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Why? Oh my God. Last one. Oh, wrong way.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Oh, I want the blue door. Oh, okay. Oh, that's trippy.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Past. Oh, okay.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Narrator? Oh my goodness.
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this.
Oh my God.
I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more. And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Yeah, I do. I remember. No, I don't need to see it again. Please.
Yes, I love that video.
Pink room again.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
Good room, though, yeah. It's alright. The giant apple gives a big touch.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Yeah, next one.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
Yeah.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
I don't know. What happened before? Oh. I'm here. The jump circle.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold
The
on.
jump
I remember
circle.
hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now.
Yeah.
Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
I think you have an obsession.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before
My
everything else, there was your office.
Yeah. Here's my
Is there
office.
anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel
No.
I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy. And I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Oh, wow. That was deep. Wow.
The embrace of an old friend. Oh, Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Oh, what I need to do? I gotta turn off on the thing.
Still no one was here.
Seems normal
Stanley
again.
needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Cheesecake?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Okay. I'm gonna do that one end, and then I'm gonna get off.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Yeah. Mind control facility.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Everything will be fine. Yay.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind.
He wants to not be a bucket. He wants to not be a bucket. So many...
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this... Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to...
What?
What?
No.
Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
No.
An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
No.
Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
What? What even happened?